Which one of the following most accurately characterizes a relationship between the two passages? These 5 answer choices have what sort of characteristic? How would you describe these answer choices?
Terrible.
Okay, as terrible. Okay, any other descriptions? They're similar to question types that we've seen before and talked about in class in logical reasoning.
It's a roll question.
Kind of like a roll question, kind of like a reasoning question. In roll and reasoning questions, do you remember the characteristics of the 5 answer choices?
It must be what?
In a roll and reasoning question, what kind of answer choices do they give you? They're abstract. They're describing the role or they're describing the reasoning. They're 5 descriptions, right? Some of these answer choices are like statements of fact, and you're like, does this fact have to be true? Or which one of the following, if true, would most strengthen the argument? That's again a fact or a piece of evidence. These are descriptions. Notice these other answer choices. They're like facts or questions. These 5 answer choices are descriptions. And because they fall into this group of questions that give you answer choices that are descriptions, what can you ask yourself as you read each answer? Is this happening? Because in roll questions and reasoning questions and in this question right here, they're giving us descriptions, so you can just ask yourself, is this describing exactly what's happening? If there's any element that's off, then it's wrong, right? So answer choice A, does passage A and passage B use different evidence to draw divergent conclusions? Did they use different evidence?
Yes.
Yes, they cited different sources of evidence. Did they draw divergent conclusions?
Yes.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Was anyone tempted by the other answers?
E was tempting because I couldn't figure out what the conclusions were for both passages, so I had to go back into the passage and
Okay.
really look through.
So if you didn't catch the conclusions which were at the end for both of these passages, I wonder if you were going too fast.
I mean, I figured that they were talking about relatively the same thing. And
Yeah?
I didn't feel like, after my first read, I didn't feel like they were diverging that much. So I thought, oh, passage A is describing something and passage B is just piggybacking off of that. So when I was given the option between either they're the same or different,
You had to go
I
back and
had to
figure
go
it out.
back and check and really look at the conclusion to see what both passages were concluding.
Yeah, I mean, given the fact that the last line says would have conferred considerable evolutionary advantage, and the last line to the original says has little adaptive value, my guess is you probably just need to read more carefully or something, because that's something that should stand out. I'm curious, how many people did catch that key difference between the two passages? Okay, I mean it's hindsight is 20/20, right? But yeah, it sounds to me like that's a pretty core element of both passages. So it feels like you're going too fast, or not asking yourself how are they different before you go into the answers. Okay, anyone tempted by B, C, or D? Okay. No more questions on that. Okay.